Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whatever time zone you're in while you're watching this video. But I just wanted to just give you a bit of a heads up on what I've been doing. FMOD Studio is what you're looking at here. It's brilliant. I've been teaching myself this over the last couple of days. Huge thanks to FMOD TV and Sally, who's the one who put together the FMOD Studio Adaptive Music Tutorials 1 to 4. I'll stick a link somewhere. I don't know how I'm going to do that. But anyway, highly recommend. Really, really good and informative. I've also sort of dived into a couple of other little elements as well that I've learned along the way. But let me just show you what I've done here. I designed a piece of music that has two main segments, a low intensity and a high intensity, and also a dead section for in the game. So what happens is you play in the game, you're in a low intensity situation, you can move into a high intensity situation at any point throughout that, and it moves into that music. And if you die, obviously it goes into the dead music. And this is what we're looking at here. I've just got one track for the dead music, but I've got all these different tracks for segment 1 and segment 2. And the reason I've got various tracks and stems of my music is so I can crossfade depending on the intensity and the health of the player. Let me just give you a bit of a listen. I'll go back to segment 1, which I'm there now. That orchestral stab, that orchestral hit there, is designed to play only 30% of the time that it loops through. So if you're in segment 1 and you're just cruising along in the low intensity, 0 intensity here at the moment, that's a parameter I was able to program in, it'll just loop this nice easygoing music. So you noticed this is the hit here. Notice it didn't play that time, because 70% of the time it won't play, which is nice. Okay, so nothing's happened. We're still low intensity, 100% health. It'll just loop back to segment 1. Ready? And those who know FMOD will notice that I haven't got a loop section here, and the reason is because my music doesn't loop perfectly. It's a bit of a glitch, not a glitch, but it feels like a pause at the beginning of each one. So I've used these transition markers because with those I can actually put a crossfade in, and that makes it quite nice. But let's see what happens when we move our intensity up to above 50%. Goes into this high intensity section. Notice it didn't have to get to the end of this first. That's what all these green lines are for. So every time it hits one of those green lines, it's ready to move on, depending on your intensity level. That's out of time a little bit. That's much better, I think. No, it was in the right spot. It's just glitching out. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, obviously I'm still a bit green on this. I don't know all the things. But what happens is, I can be playing halfway through here and turn the intensity down lower than 50%. Crossfade back into segment 1. See the marker there? Segment 1. How cool is that? So let's go back into segment 2 by turning the intensity up. Right. And if I turn the intensity, I've crossfaded some drums and some synth. Quite cool. Now what happens if you die? I've got various things happening with the health. So with the health I can turn it down. Nothing happens really until you get down below about 30%. And I've got a low pass filter comes in, muffles things. There we go. And I've also got a rumble or a whooshing sound that starts coming in. The choirs ramp up. you get to 0% health, you have that transition sound, that hit, and then you go into the dead section. And it's just got some music that plays back slowly over, and it will loop. So you can imagine yourself in the menu section and wanting to go back in, and depending on your intensity level, you can go back in, but only when you turn your health back up to above 30%. So if I was to have the intensity 100%, turn my health up to above 30. You ready? We'll get to one of those green quantized points. And you find yourself in segment 2. Let's die again, just because dying is fun. Boom, dead. So turn our intensity down to below 50%. And in theory, once we respawn, we're going to be back over in segment 1. So turn our health back up. Transition into segment 1. Right? And there we are, in the low intensity segment. So it's fairly simple, like there's only 3 segments and a couple of transitions and a little bit of crossfading. I'm going to show you in the health section here. See, I've got the this is the intensity. So as your health. So as your health decreases, the choir increases, and also right at the very end of it, the low pass happens on the choir. But I've also got the where is it? I've got a rumble happening here as well. So as your health decreases, a rumble increases as well. And over here with intensity, I've got 2 sections, your drums and your bass, which actually increase in volume up to our 0 dB level, but only after 50% intensity. So that's quite fun. So have a listen to that. I'll increase it. So there we go, we're above 50%. We're in segment 2. These are still very low volume, the bass and the drums. I'll slowly increase. There you go. Turn it back down again. And go below there, we should go back into segment 1. To the health screen and just show you exactly what's happening there. So if I reduce health, and down the bottom I've also got a low pass filter cut off, automated. Boom. And then we're in our dead section. Back to our timeline, we're over there. Now, it's just fun. And if I allow this to loop through, it'll just go straight back to the beginning of the dead section. And I've got that again because my loops aren't perfect loops. So I've got a nice little crossfade, which includes a reverb. Okay, that's all I wanted to show you. Just a bit of fun. Thanks for watching. Let's go back into the game. High intensity. 100% health.